and welcome back to my channel. In this video, we'll talk about some practical indicators that may suggest that you're doing financially better than you think. But first, please don't forget to subscribe to my channel and give this video a like, as it really helps me with my new channel. Let's dive in. And as usual, I have included shortcuts for you in the description box below, so you can skip to the parts that are more interesting to you. One of the key indicators of being in the upper middle class is having a stable income and career. Having a stable income means to have established multiple streams of income. So if one stream dries up, there are always others available for covering expenses and saving money. This is such an important way to reduce your risk of losing money, as economic uncertainties are at the rise. As the World Uncertainty Index shows, a measure of economic uncertainty has been consistently rising since 2016, with its biggest spike during the beginning of COVID-19. These additional sources of earnings may include side businesses, investments, rental properties, or freelance work. Diversifying your income not only provides financial security, but also demonstrates your ability to leverage your skills and resources for extra financial stability. This being said, to get to this point requires a discipline. It means you have learned to track your expenses and learn to be disciplined to direct your resources to build passive income streams, instead of living beyond your means. Having multiple sources of income can decrease your risk of losing it all. If your main business goes bankrupt or fails, you will lose your only source of income and you will be left empty-handed. But when you have several sources of steady income, that worry is reduced. So wealth, in opposed to just a high income, isn't about the amount of money you make now and the luxury stuff you can afford at this moment, but how stable and secure you are. Will your lifestyle be jeopardized if you lose your main source of income? Or the additional sources of income will be able to cover for it? This is the question you have to ask yourself to determine where you are at with your finances. Your income is rising faster than inflation. If your income is rising faster than inflation, then you are not only maintaining but also increasing your buying power. Based on Pew's analysis, a household of 3 needs an income of $156,600 to meet the definition of upper class, which amounts to more than double the national median, which was $70,784 according to Census Bureau data as of 2021. In comparison to this, middle-class earners are actually those whose income falls between $52,200 and $156,600. But it's not as simple, because it also depends where you live and size of your family. The geography matters a lot. Like $156K can be really an indicator of upper middle class in certain parts of the US, whereas it won't let you maintain a certain lifestyle in more expensive metropolitan cities like New York, San Francisco, and Los Angeles. For example, in Idaho, the national figure representing a middle-class income would be considered fairly low in New York City. According to Yahoo, a good salary in the US depends on various factors, but generally comfortable standard of living is attainable with an annual income of around $70,000 to $100,000 for a single individual. If you want to know based on your geography or income where you're at, use the Pew calculator, and I'll link it for you in the description box below. Having substantial savings and investments is another hallmark of the upper middle class. This might include retirement accounts, investment portfolios, and emergency funds. A common misconception is that the upper middle class spends on luxuries all the time. But in reality, to get to the upper middle class, as we talked about it before, requires a discipline with spending habits and learning to live below your means. It means you may need to change your financial habits. An investment advisor, Scott Eichler, said that a common financial habit keeping individuals in the middle class is consistently spending beyond their means. Those seeking to progress to the upper class need to save, invest, and keep a low financial overhead. This goes along with what Robert Kiyosaki said in his Rich Dad, Poor Dad book. Rich people buy luxuries last, while the poor and middle class tend to buy luxuries first. Regarding investing, Eichler also said, the first step to escape the middle class isn't to invest smartly, it is to invest at all. I also like this statement. Building true wealth requires not sitting on your money. Money needs to be working for you at all times if you want to reach the levels of truly wealthy individuals. Building a solid, diversified portfolio provides a measure of stability for the future. So if you haven't started investing your money yet, you need to start doing it now, even if you are not rich. You can learn about investing basics in this video, and I'll link it in the description box below. As a general rule of thumb, you should save at least roughly 20% of your income each month. This 20% goes towards your savings plans, emergency fund, retirement, and investments. How much you take out of your paycheck to invest depends heavily on your income and investment goals. But getting used to living without that 20% is a good start for both your savings and your investments. Access to quality healthcare and insurance. A new survey shows that a growing number of Americans are delaying important medical care because of the high cost of treatment. If you have comprehensive health insurance, dental coverage, and possibly even life insurance, And if you are not afraid of any copays or deductibles, you are likely in the upper middle class. You take care of your health and call the doctor's office to schedule an appointment without any second thoughts if you can afford it. You are able to take time off anytime you need. People in the middle class often have to ask for permission to take time off or can only take a limited number of days off. And oftentimes they still worry if taking time off more often can risk losing their job. When you take time off without worrying about money or asking for permission, it means you have made progress. Similarly, if you're making money without actively working, your money comes from passive income sources, that's also a sign. Wealthy people can earn money while they're not working, and they can choose not to work because they have various income sources covering their expenses. You have an emergency savings to cover unexpected expenses, so you don't have to touch your investments. The emergency savings should have enough to cover from 3 to 6 months of living expenses. Many people live paycheck to paycheck, and it isn't an easy task to put aside money for emergencies. The SecureSave study found that 67% of Americans don't have enough money saved to cover an unexpected $400 expense. So if you were able to fund your emergency account and feel secure in case of unexpected expenses, it's also an indicator that you are doing financially well. Home ownership is often a sign of financial stability. If you own a home or can easily handle a large mortgage, it suggests you are moving up into the upper middle class. Buying a home is one of the best long-term investments you can make. Home ownership not only provides a sense of security, but also serves as an asset that can appreciate in value over time, further contributing to your overall financial well-being. And lastly, your risk tolerance. If you have a high risk tolerance with your investments, it is also a sign that you are doing well financially and feel more or less secure. This means you are not afraid of market fluctuations, as you don't need your money for the next 10 to 15 years. You look for long-term investing, and you're building your portfolio accordingly. Since you have a long-term investing strategy, you are more likely reinvesting your dividends for higher gains in the future, and it doesn't feel like a burden to your pocket. If you feel like you need to make more improvements in your financial planning and spending to get to the desired place, set a goal to be more disciplined about your budgeting and act on your goals. Start investing and allocating 20% of your income to your investments and savings. As Robert Kiyosaki said in his book, "The philosophy of the rich and the poor is this: the rich invest their money and spend what is left. The poor spend their money and invest what is left." I hope this video was helpful. Please feel free to comment and share your thoughts. And also, if your goal is to move beyond the middle class, I'll be sharing some practical suggestions on how to improve your financial well-being in my next video. So consider subscribing to my channel for more personal finance tips. Thanks for watching.